What is happening, guys? Martin is back again. You know where we are, so let's get into it. So guys, I realized I did not do this video and I thought I actually uploaded it, but obviously I didn't do it. So again, I want to say a big thank you to those that are subscribed to the channel, and also for the current subscribers or subscribers. And if you do like this and it saves you some time, some money, please do not forget to like and subscribe. All the spiel, guys. Sometimes it's hard to really get this out. And you can see, guys, I'm slacking as well. I need to get my trim on, so I will be cutting my hair very shortly. I need to get it sorted out. Sometimes we're in quarantine. We're not going out as much as obviously we were doing before. And this is where I find myself. You can see even, need to get this sorted out ASAP. Anyway, guys, so in respect of this video, 4 fragrances. I did a quick review on the community page and I put 4 fragrances, and I said to you people out there, so again, thank you for those that voted. What is your favorite Zara fragrance? What is your favorite Zara fragrance? 4 options were given, and it was between Amber Eagle, 9.0, Vibrant Leather, and also, which one have we not mentioned at all? Unexpected from the Tobacco collection. At number 4 came in, number 4, and I'm just looking at my notes because I can't just remember what the results were. Looking at number 4, it was Amber Eagle came in at number 4. So ultimately, guys, this is a nice fragrance. I mean, it cost me probably around about $9.99 when I purchased it. You can see how much juice I have available left in this particular bottle. 100ml, $9.99. Notes seem to be that of apple, and it says it has some coconut in there and Fragrantica with also some amber and cedar in the base. Ultimately, guys, this one smells like Versace. No, it doesn't smell like Versace. Armani, Strong With You. And I think, guys, it's not a bad fragrance at all. You guys vote this as number 4. It doesn't really project as much as Strong With You. It's not as aggressive. That one is extremely sweet. It is a nice gourmand type of fragrance with probably like a touch of almond in there, maybe some vanilla as well in there, potentially even like a little bit of a spicy note, so you probably get some cinnamon or something in there, or maybe ginger. But ultimately, this one doesn't necessarily have as much complexity, but at the same time, this is still not a bad fragrance. I've worn this. Can't really say I've gotten necessarily that many compliments, because I think it's probably lent itself more to the probably how could I say, maybe summer evenings type of fragrance. And it's not a fragrance which I would really just wear as and when. I probably wear this one on certain occasions because it is a sweet fragrance. The amber obviously is there, the cinnamon is there, and in my opinion, this is a nice crisp type of version of Strong With You, as when we say clone or whatever it may be. So it's one of those fragrances, guys, which I think definitely you should get your hands on it. I don't intend to get rid of this one. A lot of my fragrances I have, after a while I sell them on eBay because I just can't bother with so many fragrances. But ultimately, this fragrance, in my opinion, guys, is definitely one to keep on your list. And again, if you do have Strong With You, maybe paying 50, 60 pounds for 100ml, this one costing 10 pounds. Keep this one as your backup. Keep this one maybe for layering as well, just to add a little bit of sweetness on top of whatever fragrance you're wearing if you can. Definitely wear this one on the clothes. It'll last a lot longer. Wear this one on skin, easily probably getting about 2 hours or so. I mean, you have to reapply with Zara fragrances, guys, so do not expect to be getting beast mode performance, because it's not the type of fragrance. It's not a type of game with these particular fragrances. But hey, that was your vote at number 4. I do apologize, guys. I got the sniffles now, so you have to bear with me. It's hay fever season. That was number 4. Coming in at number 3. Number 3, I don't actually have a bottle with this one anymore. I think I actually threw the bottle away because I think I had it so long it actually got out of, how could I say, it's no longer good juice anymore, if that makes sense. It's no longer in date. It smelled very alcoholic in the opening, and I think, to be honest, maybe it got exposed to not too much oxygen or whatever it may be, but ultimately it smelled like it actually become like vinegar, and I actually just threw it away. So ultimately, guys, I don't necessarily have that fragrance, and this is number 3, and this was 9.0 from Zara. But to me, guys, 9.0 smells very similar to these 2 fragrances. Excuse me. So you can see, guys, we have Dior on from obviously Dior, and we also have Valentino Uomo. So Valentino Uomo is one of my favorite fragrances, in my opinion, guys. You get this iris, cardamom, cinnamon vibe going on. Obviously, with the iris that you get in this particular one from Dior, you get slightly more of like this lipstick vibe that everybody talks about. If you've never tried this fragrance before, I would probably recommend, with obviously the new version that's out, be careful with the new version, Personally, I'd try and find the older bottles, maybe get the Intense as well, because that's got slightly more of like a chocolate sort of leather vibe going on. Both have like a sort of suede and leather in the base in respect to these fragrances. But 9.0, in my opinion, smells very much like a combination of these two. So for what it is, for $9.99 from Zara, I don't think you can go wrong with that fragrance. In my opinion, it's a good fragrance. It's not necessarily high on my list. I don't particularly like it in such a way as I like these two individual fragrances. But nonetheless, it's still a nice fragrance, guys. You voted it as number 3, 9.0, which again, I was surprised. I thought it'd be number 2, but number 3 is what it was. So guys, if you want to go and get a combination, like a mix of these put into one fragrance, go and check out 9.0 from Zara's website, guys, and look at the note breakdown on that. I'm not going to go through all the notes because it doesn't make any sense. But at the end of the day, between these two fragrances, if you're interested to know, personally, I prefer this one with an almond note. Again, it's like this sort of vanilla vibe going on. And again, some white suede sort of going on, which is a very nice fragrance. A lot of compliments to this one. This one with this iris note is a little bit too much of this sort of lipstick vibe going on. I prefer the Intense version, which again, slightly more sort of cocoa vibe going on, slightly more sort of dark leather note going on in Intense. This one's still nice, but at the same time, between the two, I would go with Valentino Olmo every single time, every time. Anyway, guys, in respect of the second fragrance, just so I do not forget what this one happens to be. But this is not a fragrance I wear particularly often. You guys voted it as number 2, and this is this one as well. You can see from the tobacco collection, which is Unexpected, Fresh and Spicy. And that it is, guys, that it is. Apparently this has sandalwood in it. It has some cinnamon and also, I believe, like a patchouli note in there. Let me just check. Patchouli note, yes, so you're getting this type of earthy sort of woodsy vibe. Ultimately, guys, this one smells like Thierry Mugler's Pure Havana. And ultimately, if you know what that smells like with cigars, and again with this sort of element of this sort of rum note as well going on, that's what you get from this one. You could even try and compare this one slightly with Spice Bomb Intense version, or even Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. Now obviously that's a different caliber of fragrance, so do not get it too confused, but equally this one, I think it only costs about $12.99. And for what it is, guys, you can see how much juice I have left in there. I personally do not like it as much as Thierry Mugler's version, because obviously the quality and the juice is two different things. But ultimately, guys, I mean, hey, you get this sort of like cherry vibe going on, which again, it's not necessarily noted on a note breakdown, but it is what it is. Cherry, tobacco note, definitely some sort of cinnamon in there, definitely some sandalwood you could probably pick up on, maybe some cedar wood, and equally you could even pick up on like a sort of, how could I say, maybe like a vanilla note going on. It smells a slightly gourmand. It doesn't smell necessarily as in depth in respect of the sort of tobacco note or the smoothness that you get from Tom Ford sort of fragrances. You won't necessarily get that with this one. You won't get the level of depth and the level of intensity that you get from Thierry Mugler's version of Pure Havana. But it is what it is, guys. $12.99. You pay what you pay, you get what you get, and ultimately this is a nice fragrance. Not bad at all, guys. You voted that as number 2 on the list of fragrances. Number 2. Not bad fragrance. You do get some longevity on it, guys. I think you can probably get about, I'd say maybe about 3 hours, give or take. It depends on your skin and it depends on the circumstances. But in at number one, you guys vote this number 1. I do appreciate it. I do understand why. Why do I appreciate it? Because I don't work for Zara. But ultimately, I do understand why. It is this one, guys, and this one, and this is Vibrant Leather, and this came in at number 1. You can see how much juice I have in this one. Now, unfortunately, I've done so many videos on this one now, guys, but you already know, and I know as well, that this one has been reformulated. It is not as potent as the previous batches that came out. I believe it came out in 2018 or so, 2019. It's not as potent as what it used to be. It doesn't seem to have the longevity as what it used to have to be. The bergamot note in this one, guys, doesn't seem to really last as long. It's nice, it's okay, it's fresh, it's lemon based. It's a nice fragrance, guys, but unfortunately, it just seems to lack the projection. I don't know why. So ultimately, guys, the note breakdown on this one seems to be, according to Zara's website, it's saying it has bergamot, it has some leather in there, and also bamboo. I personally don't necessarily know about bamboo, but ultimately, it seems to have this sort of like lemon note in there, and we do get bergamot and potential pineapple in there. And I think the minute we mention pineapple, we talk about Creed Aventus. To me, guys, in all honesty, on the market right about now, especially on the high street, this, in my opinion, is the closest you're going to get to Creed Aventus. It's not necessarily going to be as intense. It's not going to be as smoky with the birch sort of note going on that you get in Aventus. And the base notes, in my opinion, aren't as heavy. This one seems to lend itself slightly more to a, how can I say, a top note type of fragrance. So you could wear this one probably more so in the summertime. easily wear this one in the evening. I don't even believe you could overspray on this one, guys. I think there's a citric note in there, which isn't necessarily noted on Fragrantica or on Zara's website, but for what it is, guys, $12.99. If you're not sure on this one, no, $12.99, it's not $12.99. $12.99 is for the 60ml. I've done reviews on those ones as well. But if you're not sure, guys, in respect of the full 120ml, if you're not particularly sure, go and check out the 60ml. But for me, guys, £20 for the 120ml, and I'm quite happy with what it is. I know what to expect now. I'm not going to necessarily hold this one in too high esteem. If you don't particularly agree with this particular fragrance, maybe go and try other alternatives out there. You've got again, Mont Blanc Explorer, for example, slightly more expensive, maybe spending about £40 or so, £50 to maybe get 100ml, if they do 100ml or whatever it may be, 60ml for example, for that particular fragrance. But for high street, guys, I think this is the closest you're going to get to Creed Aventus. I think the smell of it has been consistent in that, again, it's a inspired version of Creed Aventus, and don't get me wrong, the two are not the same, but ultimately it just lacks projection. They've just reduced what the potency was before and made it now this sort of like very sort of how could I say, safe fragrance. I think that's the best way to say it. It's a safe fragrance now. I don't think you can necessarily go wrong with this one. And this is actually one of my most complimented fragrances, believe it or not. Now, the newer version, and you can see I've not worn this as much and not worn this as often. Maybe I'll go and get a new bottle. Who knows? Maybe they've taken it back and taken some of these comments to heart. Who knows? I really doubt it, because probably people don't care. But anyway, that was your number one, guys. So thank you very much. I hope to see you on the next video. I do thank you very much for the comments, likes, and subscriptions. If you save some time and some money, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. And it's interesting to see what other YouTubers are doing at this time. I see everyone keeps doing all these, like, you know, 4 for life and 5 for life to go to the gym, and 4 for life to if you're going to go and see your mother at the weekend and all that sort of stuff like that. So, you know, these are very interesting videos. Maybe I'll do some of those shortly as well. Ciao.